cleaning family, it's your cleaning business mentor here, Carolyn Arellano. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing the top 5 cleaning disasters that we have made within our cleaning business so that you guys don't have to experience them firsthand yourselves. Earlier this week, I uploaded a short and I quickly ran through the top 5 cleaning disasters. Now I'm going to be elaborating on each of these situations, and I'm going to let you know how it happened, how I handled the situation, and then how I implemented things going forward, systems and that I put in place so that they didn't happen again. I also do want to mention that I don't think that any of these on the list were actually done by myself, but by my cleaning technicians, my employees, and nobody got in trouble for anything that happened. All of these 5 disasters were actually learning experiences. So yes, they were mistakes. Yes, some of them were costly, but at that point in my business, we were learning together. I did not have systems in place. However, I do assure you that moving forward, none of these things have ever happened again. And if they do, then we would, probably have to write somebody up or something, because we go over each and every one of these scenarios during training and, have implemented systems and whatnot. So the very first mistake on my list was actually backing up a customer septic system. So for the longest, we didn't know that you could not flush the replaceable, I said reusable, my mistake, but I meant replaceable toilet wands. So we have the Clorox toilet wands that have the disposable head. So we love buying those because, you could just throw it out, disinfect. We didn't know you couldn't flush them. We were flushing them. It was a mistake. We had no idea. We should have read the packaging, to be honest, but they just made it seem like you can kind of just flush that. So we actually ended up, flushing one of the toilet wand pods. And then I had our client give us a call about a week later, let us know that his septic system was backed up, and then sent a photo of the toilet wand pod. I immediately apologized, and thankfully the client had already went through their insurance, so they didn't go after mine. And it didn't cost us anything other than a client, right? We didn't come back to clean their home. Now, what we did do was, moving forward, I went over and had a retraining on how to clean toilets, and specifically about that pod that we flushed down the septic system. And I let everybody know these are not flushable. These must go in a trash bag and dispose. So that's in training, and it'll never happen again, hopefully. Number 2, we bleached a client's wooden cabinet. Now, thankfully, it was just one little wooden cabinet, and in this scenario, I did have to replace it. But let's just go back to, how did this even happen? Okay, so once upon a time, we used to pack bleach with all of our cleans, because we all know that bleach, does what it has to do. However, aside from the, the health risks, of course, burning yourself, inhaling that stuff, it ruins a lot of items, right? So it ruins just about anything that it touches, uniforms, you name it. So on this particular day, we had a technician who was using bleach in a bathroom, and she was using a Mr. Magic eraser to, I guess, get some grime off of the bathtub. What she did was, she then took that same exact magic eraser and used it in the kitchen. Now, during training, we talk about not cross-contaminating sponges or rags, bringing them in from one room to another. We have a bag and we wash everything at the end of the night. So, number 1 mistake, she, brought an item from cleaning the bathroom into the kitchen. Okay. Second mistake, there was bleach on it. So, when she went to grab it and she swiped across the cabinet, it got bleach on the cabinet, discolored it. There was no bringing it back. We had to replace that, right? So we ended up just replacing that for the client. We did lose her as a client, of course. She didn't, after we did the repair, she didn't ask us to come back. Moving forward, we don't pack bleach anymore. We never packed bleach beyond that day. And we implemented more training on, using products in the bathrooms and then using them in other rooms, and vice versa. Nobody got written up at that point. we just made a new policy in place. We took bleach out of one of our many cleaning supplies. Again, it ruins a lot. So the number 3 mistake is we scratched a very, very large, beautiful mirror in a client's bathroom. Now, again, nobody was really at fault. For whatever reason, he couldn't get, I don't know if it was paint that was on the mirror, but he couldn't get something off of the mirror. Turns out the mirror was always like that. The client had splattered something on it. So what did he do? He went and he grabbed an SOS pad from the bag. And he lightly started to do circular motions trying to get this paint or whatever it was off. He ended up scratching it and ruining it completely. He sent me photos right away. There was no replacing it. So we reached out to the client. I replaced the mirror. Didn't go through insurance again, thankfully. Replaced the mirror. And then moving forward, I implemented more training on the SOS pad. So now SOS pads are only allowed to be used inside of a client's oven. Okay, inside of the oven. That's the only place we're allowed to use SOS pads. Never on glass, never on any other surfaces. So again, implemented that into our training. Now, the 4th disaster that I can recall where I actually did have to call the insurance was when we accidentally sprayed oven off or easy off the oven cleaner on a $3,000 lamp. Now, first you might be like, how the heck do you spray that on a lamp? So let me explain that. Explain how that happened. So we were on 5th Avenue in Manhattan. If you guys are not familiar, it's a very upscale and rich neighborhood. So we're in this, again, we're on 5th Avenue. There was this couple that had just moved in from France, so they had a lot of stuff from France. They were telling us to be careful. Well, their stove, right, so I have my laptop right here for my notes, but let's just imagine that this is the top of their stove. So from here down is where, I'd be cooking and the burners are, and this right here is the back where you have the dials. So this was their stove, and it just so happened that their stove also met with the island that the couple was going to eat on, right? So this whole back here was a kitchen island. Okay, so the island was level with the top or the dials of the stove, and then they had the head of the lamp like right sitting, and then my cleaning technician went and took the easy off and sprayed the top of the stove. I'm sure there was grease, so it probably seemed like a really good decision when she made it. However, she didn't realize that she would be getting some of that spray on everything that was behind or on that kitchen island. So it corroded the lamp. The lamp cost $3,000. I didn't realize it happened, or the client didn't, until we left like a couple days later. She was able to send me a receipt. I went through the insurance. The $3,000 lamp ended up costing us, I think, like a $200 deductible, so it wasn't like terrible. My rate did go up a little bit, but again, at that point in time, I didn't have $3,000 to cough up, so I was really happy that I had that insurance. Again, like, nobody got in trouble, but we implemented a new rule that oven cleaner is only allowed to be used inside of the oven. And I say that because clearly we were spraying it on top of the stovetop at some point, right? Because it was eating through the grease, but we don't do that anymore for that reason. And then number 5, we actually had a client's dog get loose in the front yard. And I think I was actually there for that one. And we were able to, get the dog. It was a small dog, thankfully. It wasn't vicious or anything. It was pretty friendly. And we were able to get the dog back in the house. But it was, not without first sweating and panicking and worrying about, oh my God, we're going to lose this dog. So what did we do? Now, the problem there was that we didn't know that there was a dog in the house. Or if we did know, it wasn't noted. So moving forward, what we did was we asked the question to our clients, do you have pets in the home? Will they be caged? What kind of pet, right? And so we implement that in our quoting process. And then what we do is we note that for our cleaning technicians. Like, she has 3 dogs. She has 4 cats. She has 2 birds. That way, before entering the home, we are more aware of, letting out a pet or an animal. And that also helps for allergy reasons. So, yeah, those are the top 5 cleaning disasters. Kind of have to figure it out as you're going. So making mistakes is normal. It's going to happen. What you have to understand is that it's inevitable. We're learning, it's new to us. So don't freak out, always have the right insurances in place in case things do happen, because we are human. And also, give yourself some credit. Don't beat yourself up over these types of mistakes. Were some of them massive? Yes, they were, but I'm still alive. My company is still open, and I was able to deal with and handle each and every one of them. And then again, implement them into some type of system or training, or just getting rid of something altogether, so that we can minimize, our problems. As long as you document everything and implement some type of procedure, I promise you guys, they will not be looked at as mistakes, rather learning experiences.